is good in the book, and I already know it is. These Bong Hit Net QSL cards are not only highly coveted, but they're suitable for framing.
True story.
Put one of those in the Oval Office. All right, anybody want to check in before we go to the internet check-ins?
Number 409 and 296 with Wi-Fi.
Well, beautiful check-in. It's great to hear your soothing voice, and you guys check in. I know this will be an exciting week for you when you get your license next weekend.
Hey, do you have your list up right now, Mike?
I certainly do, sir.
On 409, it says third, and then Becky.
Yeah, it's third party.
Copy. Okay, I got it.
Once she gets her license, that'll just change to her license.
Oh, that'll be great. I can't wait.
Now, there's one other situation like that, and that actually goes to Diane, and that was from drunken... not Diane. I think that's the one that was from a drunken MFW. Oh, Dennis. Dennis is a third party for that one. There's a Diane and Dennis. Dennis checked in via third party because he wanted a Bong Hit card. MFW's landlord.
That makes sense now.
And then there's another Diane who's a third party, and but she doesn't check in too much. And that's it. That's it. But thank you for asking that question.
I can't wait to get the updated roster with our new call sign on it. That'll be cool.
Well, we're all very excited. Then she can get her. She deferred her QSL card until she gets a bona fide amateur radio license, which I thought was smart.
Oh, yeah, because then she'll have her call on it. That'll be cool. Right on. Perfect. But she'll always be known as number 409 on the Bong Hit Net.
That's right. Forever. Becky, are you the type of gal that has the tattoos?
I think I only have 2, but yeah, I got tattoos.
Oh, right on. I mean, a lot of women do. It's no big deal. Are you thinking about getting BHN 409 tattooed like a lot of people have been doing?
That's funny. You started playing the 409 song. No, I only have plans for one more tattoo, but you never know, right?
Well, I mean, it is the Bong Hit Net, and you actually have an amazing number. And you could walk around. I'd put that, if I were you, I'd put it like where someone could see it most of the time if you wanted. That way when you walk around, you know, other people notice, oh, she's got a BHN number. That must be Becky.
Maybe I'll talk my husband into some 409 jewelry, and then I'll just have like a big 409 necklace or something.
Well, that's fine too. Maybe something with some, I don't know, 18 karat with some nice diamond inlay. That'd be pretty cool.
He was just saying that the price of silver and gold is going up, and we need to start investing. I was like, well, that's a pretty good idea.
Well, that's true, and it'll only increase in value. That's a good idea. You know, that's why we have That's why we're glad to have you aboard. You have good ideas there. Well, good luck with your upcoming test, and we'll continue to take check-ins until we move along to the internet check-ins.
I tattooed my number upside down, right on the top of my belly. So when I look down to do a bong hit, it's right there. I can see it, number 6.
You know, I didn't believe you, but when you were reaching up to tie the tie straps down, you exposed your belly, and I saw it, and I'm like, wow, you did do it.
He's lying.
So it looks like number 9?
He's lying. He never smokes a bong.
You probably saw it as a number 9, but for me, when I'm looking down to do that bong hit, it's a prominent number 6 right there on the top of my belly. Thanks for noticing, Mike.
But
Well, you know, maybe you could put like a line to denote 6.
number 9.
But you got some problems.
Number 9. Number 9.
What was that? Well, what do you mean? Brad, someone said you have problems. Everybody knows that, okay? Don't hassle the guy over at Savon Hit.
Number 9.
All right. Well, thanks for saying number 9, Brad. I appreciate that. All right. Let's move along to the internet check-ins for today. Yeah, let's see. All right, we'll start us off today is the Hootin' Strippers. Hootin' Strippers. They got me all paranoid now. Checking in is Midnight, number 378. We got Ashley, number 241. We got Stormy, number 239, and Angel, number 240, and, oh yeah, Foxy, number 413. Oh yeah. I think she prefers Jenny, though. Oh, and they said hello to 205 with his, whatever he's got.
Must be impressive.
Yeah, they don't say hello to any other random PHNs. But anyway, we got Joan, number 309, checking in with an edible. We got Kyle from Louisiana with an asterisk today. Right on, Kyle. We got Robert, Bravo Hotel November 215. This is number 215, Robert, with a bowl of sour diesel hash and a cold beer.
Forward 12, check in, asterisk.
All right, there he is. There's Dan, number 412, checking in. Good to hear you, sir. Do you have any traffic for the net today?
Nope.
Well, fine business. You've got a great signal into the machine, and thank you for taking the time to check into the Bong Hit Net.
Thank you.
All right. We've got some more internet check-ins. We got 415 from Ohio checking in with an asterisk. Right on. Good to hear you, sir. Or hear from you, sir. Jeremy, we got the guys in Ridgecrest. We got number 382. We got 414, 388, and 375 with and a new check-in. Wow. And they're smoking the Eternal OG. Oh, yeah. I got an address here. Oh, the new guy is Aaron? Right on, Aaron. Oh, I guess he's 417, Mike.
Cool. You can add that to the list before you send it to me. Perfect. Only 3 more, man. This is crazy.
Oh, really? 2 more, man. That's
So close.
all right. We got number 67. Let's see. KB8NRB, of course, with his vape balloon. And he's got that full of private reserve forbidden fruit flower with the Sour Jack live resin icing. That kind of a buzz from just saying it. All right, we got the bootlegger Fred, the guy in Bakersfield, number 92 with an asterisk. Right on. We got Nick, number 230, checking in with the Blue Dreams. Oh, yeah. W5AWG, let me check. What do you think you are? 316? No, you're not 316. I'm looking for, I forgot how to search this. I'm looking for W5AWG. He thought he was 316, but he's not.
Give me a minute.
I remember his number. I remember that guy. Well, I'll figure it out as soon as Mike tells me.
You wouldn't think it'd be that hard, but then again, after 417 check-ins, it's a bit of a look.
Yeah, and sometimes what they remember doesn't help because it's, but it's not 316. I bet it's 216. No, that's an N for com. Oh, darn it. I know there's a way to search it. Oh, WA. No, that's a different guy. Fuck, I don't remember. We'll figure it out, sir. Either way, we'll give you a check-in. Mike will figure it out real quick, probably. All right. That was W5AWG. AWG. G. G as in OG. Oh, now he says 217 with an asterisk. Okay, he's 217 maybe. Let me check. Yep, he's 217. Got him down. Way to remember, sir. See, that's why you guys got to get these things tattooed on your body somewhere so you can't forget this stuff. We got 119 with an asterisk. Let's see. Hi, I'm not a ham yet. Guy yet, but I'm using... he's using Treadwell CBD Tincure Bang CBD pen. Oh, you're the guys, yeah. Dude, I'm not sure if I can announce that, do you have a name or anything or an address or anything we can, if you do, we'll give you a check-in, sir. I know you've checked in before, but maybe you can, give us your name and address and information, all that. We don't need the last four of your social, but it helps. And it's K6OG. All right, I got number 183, WV6 Charlie. Tom's checking in. Thank you, Tom. Good to hear you, sir. And I got John, number 217 with Grape Ape. Oh, okay, you're going to check it with Grape Ape now. Gotcha. Right on. K6OG BONG HIT NET Control. Taking check-ins before we move along to the strain of the day.
373 medley.
Right, good to hear you. 373 with that medley.
I don't know why I didn't just use the search function on the PDF. It works great. 217.
Yeah, all you got to do is just hit search and it finds it for you. Right on. Thank you for doing that. Appreciate it. Couldn't do the net without Mike's help. He's very, very proactive behind the scenes. A lot of people don't realize that.
It takes a village.
That sure does. All right. Anyone want to check in before we move to the strain of the day? Anybody else? All right, I'm going to take that as a no. Let's move to the strain of the day, and today's strain is mango. Oh, yeah. And it's indica. And this strain's 100% indica. It's very powerful and is best used at night for obvious reasons. It helps people with chronic pain, nausea, and anorexia. Not a lot of hands with anorexia, I've noticed. Mango, maybe because they smoke this mango. Who knows? Mango smells and tastes just like it sounds, like it would, which attracts many patients to the sweet smell of mango. This strain has a THC level ranging from 15 to 20%. This mango cannabis strain has been around since the 60s, but was crossed with KC33 in 1991, which is the mango strain that is used today. It's known for growing buds the size of softballs. Those are big buds. This pure indica plant grows very tall and strong. It produces heavily and is best when grown outdoors or in a greenhouse. Mango has a very distinct coloration on the plant of deep red and purples. The long-lasting THC effects may help patients who suffer from chronic pain, nausea, and lack of appetite. So, if that's your taste, and you want a 100% indica that's pretty potent, give the mango a try. It's the strain of the day, KE6OG.
Well, if you eat more fiber, you won't have to strain so much.
That's true. Your stool will have a nice mucousy coating. The guy knows his shit, I gotta say. Here. Maybe a little too much. All right, this is K6OG Bong Hit Net Control. It's been a long Bong Hit Net, man. Are there any final Bong Hit Net check-ins?
103, Desert Bud, 103.
All right, loud and clear, number 103. That's RJ High.
That's right. The Juliet High. Beautiful.
Oh, yeah. Hey, the people in the background, I know a lot of people want to buy RGI money and give them money and send them weed, buy stuff. But he's hoping that he can get his free off-road vehicles before Cuddy's back. Right?
He's right. Fuck yeah.
So whoever is selling them a bike for a couple $100 or giving it to him for free or whatever, before they like to get it before Cuddy back. They don't need helmet.
Beautiful.
Brad, you don't ride yours anymore. Can they have it?
No, I gave it to my boy.
Was he using it?
Actually, no, he got rid of it. He's got a new one. He's a big boy. He's bigger than I am, so he went and got a 450.
Well, if you know of anyone, these guys are looking for a motorcycle for Cuddy back. Nothing crazy, just anything that they can putt around the desert.
Yeah, me too.
You're looking for one also? Well, that probably works just fine. anyway, just throwing that out there for shits and giggles. Isn't that what they say?
Perfect.
All right, are there any other final Bong Hit Net check-ins? All right, well, nothing being heard. I want to thank everyone that took the time to check into the Bong Hit Net that we have on this frequency, 147.435 every day at this time, 420. By the way, we've got a few last-minute check-ins here. We got, let's see, who do we have checking in? Oh, we've got KB8RTR from Ohio checking in. I believe that's your first time checking in, sir. Welcome aboard. I'm going to have to go through and bonify these people and make sure. Let's see. Oh, he sent me the QSL card address. Excellent, sir. All right, we got another guy checking in. Uh-oh, Mike. We got another guy checking in right after this guy. The last guy here is listening from North Carolina, Dale. I got you checked in, sir. I'm not sure who yet, but I'm going to have to go through and check these in. You're the last guy to check in today, sir.
Now, Terry.
You know what that means.
Terry, you got to check in now. True story.
All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and close the net. I might be sitting down here filling out the logbook so I can find out who did what and what happened and who's who and who's bona fide, who isn't. Right on. It's KE60G Bong Hit Net Controller. Any other final Bong Hit Net check-ins? Dude, that was my skull.
I'm so wasted.
Right, I know that. This KE60G Bong Hit Net Control, I want to thank everyone that did check into the Bong Hit Net, the new guys. And until tomorrow when we do this net again, I'm going to go ahead and take the closing Bong Hit to return the repeater back to normal use. So here we go. And just to make sure no shenanigans are going down, Mike, and there's multiple people verifying all these check-ins. So, you know, it's not like we have any influence over who's checked in at what time. Anyway, KE60G Bong Hit Net Control taking the final Bong Hit to return the repeater back to normal use until tomorrow at 4:20 when we do it all over again. All right, KE60G Bong Hit Net Control. Return the repeater back to normal use and stand by.
Great net.
Excellent net. And there we are. Wow.
Yep.
Beautiful day.
I'm just going to fill out the logbook and see what happens here, but that'll take me a little while to do. So it's all documented. So see what happens.
Well, I see the RTR, KB8 RTR, Steve in Ohio. I see him there. So right on. Yeah, let the chips fall where they may.
Yeah, there you go. He's bona fide. I don't even have to worry about him. By the way, if you've been waiting to check in for any obvious reason and you have a call sign, you might want to send me an email for a late check-in. Who knows? KE60G.
This thing was closed. So you have to send him email.
What was that, Wadio?
OG,
know. It's only when we compare you to normal people.
I forgot what I was talking about following that. I'll tell you.
Well, you're probably better off.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, you're not really the worrying type, are you?
Well, yeah, I know. I don't answer that, but you know what? I'll talk about something else now.
Right now?
Right about now. Right now?
Right on, funky soul brother.
Right now?
Soul brother.
I'm not sure that's a correct lyric, but...
Funk soul brother, right about.
Be afraid to correct me, I'm not sure on that one. Well, Mike, I ordered a Mighty Vac. By the way, I noticed Mighty Vac is like the industry standard for like little vacuum pump, hand pumps for test and shit, / vacuum pumps for test and shit.
Well, what are you going to use it for?
So I can set my wastegate.
Ah, okay.
Just so I can see what it is. Just so I have a way of seeing what it is. I just want to... It's supposed to be 6 PSI, and it's been known that they're all over the place in this year. They might not have been set properly. I want to make sure it's not at 7 or 4, you know.
Right on. What kind of negative effect does that have if it's off?
Well, the higher the PSI, if it thinks it's lower than it is, like it thinks it's at 6, because that's what it's set for, and it's at 7, that would be more air and less fuel, right? So it might be running lean.
Oh, okay. Okay, I get it.
But obviously more boost, more power too, but if you want more boost, you got to put more fuel.
Yeah, and you don't want it to lean out in the process.
Exactly. And I'll probably do this and find out it's right at 6 where it's supposed to be, and it's mechanically set.
I wonder if that changes at all over time.
I don't know, but I'll be able to use the same tool to bleed brakes and all kinds of different shit. And, you know, I'm debating about getting one, but I ain't got one.
You should put a wastegate on your bong.
You know why that's so incredibly important?
No, why, Terry?
When you run the reason you run a blower in the first place is because of this one point they never tell you. There's a magic ratio, really, of air to gas. And that ratio is so important that if you go over it or under it, you don't get maximum power. So if you want to add more gas, you got to add more oxygen in order to keep that ratio constant. And that's what you're talking about. That's everything about what I think you just said, is you got to maintain that ratio in order to make the maximum ponies.
Hey, are you... Safely, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And so you're saying I didn't waste $60 buying a tool to use on my $30,000 off-road racing vehicle?
You probably didn't need it. The world ain't coming to an end, but there's nothing wrong with knowing that information.
14.7 to 1 would be the perfect number right there for gasoline.
Bong hit number?
No, it isn't 14. It isn't 1 atmosphere. Round figures, that ratio I talked about, and it varies on all different vehicles. It varies. But round figures, it's about 10 to 1.
Air to fuel, right?
Yes. 10 times the air, oxygen, to 1 part gas. So again, the bottom line is, if you want to add more gas, you have to add more oxygen. So you do it with a chemical like you send the gas in there, the laughing gas, or you use a blower, either exhaust blower or a roots blower.
Isn't that a trip? Yet nitrous oxide doesn't burn.
Yeah, but it supplies the oxygen, and that's the only part of nitrous it needs, is that part of it.
But yet it's an inert gas.
By itself, it's an inert gas. I'm not a chemist, but I know it uses the oxygen because that's what it's all about.
NO2, like H2O, is a covalent bond, and if you apply enough pressure to it, it breaks fairly easily, leaving you free oxygen gas.
Thank you. That's it.
Well, I think you're stating the obvious, Brad. We're going beyond that.
So they were saying 14.7 to 1 is ideal for the lowest emissions, but that's not necessarily the best ratio for power. And it used to be 12.5 to 1 was considered the best power ratio, but with improved combustion chambers and hotter ignition systems, the ideal is now about 12.8 to 1 to 13.2 to 1.
Okay, I've got a book over here that talks about hopping up an engine, which I got in a bookcase right now. And they were talking about like a Chevy LS7, something like that. I used to have one of those. And they said it was 10 to 1. But I told you it varies all over the place. But it's important nevertheless.
Yep.
Yeah, it is very important. That's why I want to check it to see what it is. I know. And it's especially important in my application because the fuel pump that's stock on it is running right at its limit. So if I wanted to increase the boost, I'd have to change out the fuel pump to get more pressure to flow more fuel. And if I wanted to go crazy, I'd have to change out the injectors.
It says for alcohol, the ratio is about 6.4 to 1. And for diesel, it's 14.5 to 1. Interesting. So I wonder if the octane of the gasoline has anything to do with that ratio.
I can't tell you that. I don't know. I know the octane, of course, is important because if your compression ratio gets too high and you don't have the octane ratio, you're in for bad things.
Well, let me ask you this. Is that why the ones that run the 87, the ethanol, they just flow so much more fuel for the better, that's how they gain the horsepower, right? And it acts as a cool, But yeah, so is that how they're doing it, Mike? With that, flowing more fuel because it's a higher fuel-to-air mixture to be optimum? And is that optimum for horsepower or for emissions, clean burning?
Yeah, that's what I saw at first. The 14 to 1 was for emissions.
LS7 in a boat. If you're not familiar with an LS, 454 Chevy stock in a crate when they don't make it in a crate anymore. But it had the 4-bolt mains and the tough dry-to crank, and you adjusted the rod bolts by stretch like 17 thousandths instead of torque. Anyway, I was using it one day at the river the way it came stock, and I was using it on a jet boat. And you have to run lower compression on a jet boat. They don't get high enough RPMs. But I was running it stock, which came 12.5 to 1, which is way too high. And one day I took a hot lap down the river. It was in the wintertime. And I blew the inside of a spark plug right out the exhaust pipe. The whole electrode, the whole metal and porcelain or whatever that's made out of, inside of a spark plug, went right out and through the engine.
Put together. So maybe really high end.
Nice. Damn.
Much for your dollar other than weight.
How do you know it went through there just because you couldn't find it?
Yeah, I knew for a fact it was gone. You know, pulled out the spark plug. The body of the spark plug was right there, and there was no insides. And luckily, it didn't blow the engine all to pieces. It hurt it. I had to rebuild the engine, but it wasn't destroyed. Anyway, it had to go right out the exhaust pipe. That was the only place it could have gone.
Wow. In the Marine Corps, we used to run diesels, and the diesel we ran was a AV53T, had a blower and a turbo on it. And we used to run them on the deck, our engine stand, to fuck with them. And as you know, it's a diesel, and it's old school, so the only way to shut it off is to take a piece of plywood and put it over the intake on the turbo, so starve it, and it'd turn off. And one guy did that, and he stuck his finger in that turbo, man. And it didn't go through the exhaust area. It was stuck on the turbo screen. That's where I found it.
What a bummer. Yeah, that thing, turbos go 200,000 RPM, some of them.
Yeah, it was on the blower screen. It's on a turbo and a blower.
That's the whole thing. That's the...
Terry, do you want to go?
You're lucky that spark plug, the internal, didn't, just put a hole right through a piston or get lodged in the exhaust valve there and bend that all up.
Yeah, porcelain's pretty hard. If the electrode went, was the porcelain head still there or no?
And if you're talking about my spark plug, Alan, it was gone. The whole inside of the spark plug was vamoosed. It was gone.
I done the same thing with nitrous. Same thing with nitrous, a backfire. And I'd rather take that out. But, yeah, all that was there was the metal housing, which was around the porcelain electrode. Everything was gone. And, no, it didn't go through the engine. It got blown out, trust me.
Blown out where? There's only one way out.
You said that the whole spark plug fragment, it's all, that internal part where the electrode goes all through the engine, that's all porcelain there. That's insulated by porcelain. So if that all blew out, you're telling me when you hooked the spark plug wire, that porcelain part of the cone, that was still there or it wasn't there?
Let's talk about the inside around the electrode, Alan.
It's all porcelain.
Not the conductor isn't porcelain. There's a wire that goes through there. I don't know if it's tungsten or what the hell it is, but that's metal.
Yeah, size of a screw, yeah, like a, I don't know, 16 or something like that. But I know what you're talking about.
Well, if I didn't find it anywhere and the engine didn't didn't find it, it had to have gone out the exhaust pipe. And anyway, this isn't something I saw. just something I assumed.
Oh, I'm not doubting you. I'm not doubting you. And think about it. You might have melted that electrode, and that broke all instantly, and it's like a circle. Maybe the valve crushed it and it spit it out.
Well, anyway, when we rebuilt the engine, we changed the compression from 12.5 to 11.25.
Well, prior to me finding a number 25 hollow point, torque spit and getting in the big clip-on to actually back up a payphone, just freaking flashing a payphone was easy. Big local phone calls.
So it was a jet boat you had?
Yeah, it was a jet boat. It only got about, it was pretty good for a jet. I got about 5,700 RPM. But if you want to run high compression like that, you've got to get up around 7,000 to 8,000 RPM to use a propeller boat.
I used to have a 66 flat bottom B drive with a 427 and a blower on it. And it was 10.5 to 1. And I put nitrous on it, a bunch of stupid stuff, which is useless underwater.
Well, it makes more RPM. Anyway, I did all that stuff, but I did it with a jet. I was no speed demon, but we went close to 100. That's really fast for a jet boat.
Fucking crazy fast on the water. People don't believe it.
Yeah, very few people, although they think they go fast, go 80. To go 80 is a hat trick for most people. And it cost about $1 zillion to do it, but we went close to 100.
Working against you.
Jerry, you're going to be careful driving 35 through a farmer's market.
I'll be back in a bit.
Drive through your mama's house. On water, it feels like you're going twice that fast. Just like walking on water.
Top end of Lake Havasu one time, I ran it aground. Had about four kids in the boat with me. We ran it high and dry. The river coming into the lake was super low, and didn't hurt anybody or anything. Just there's nothing under a jet boat, pretty much. So we just slid right on top, like it was ice.
I swamped my own boat with my own wake. Remember when the jet bikes were out, or whatever those fuckers were, they had a plate before the jet skis. Anyway, one of these motherfuckers cut in front of me, and I had to fucking pull off the fucking throttle, and my own fucking wake swamped me.
Yeah, I've seen that. I had right in front of Big Bend on the river one time, I had the engine cut out at high speed. And luckily, both myself and my son had the brains to go up and sit on the deck. So the boat didn't swamp on the stern.
I took it all the way fucking down. The bow was bobbing out of the fucking water about 2 feet. I caught that fucker. This happened on a Saturday morning. I caught him on Sunday evening. I saw the fucker buzz by me, and a friend of mine fucking caught up to him, and we fucking brought him back to our fucking campsite. Explained to him how stupid he fucking was.
This is the control operator. Hi, Sam. How you doing? Not too bad. Long day yesterday. Wifey came down with, not the...
Oh, I'm age 60.
There's too full of Mexicans. I don't like going anymore.
Why do you bother pinching your nuts? We can always tell it's you.
I'm just saying there's too many Mexicans at the river. It makes it very, very hard for any decent working white people.
Well, I'm a nigger, so fuck you.
People can't swim, so I'm not really worried about them at the river. They just sink. Oh, freaky. Freak.
Terry, were you at Havasu when you got close to 100?
No. It was at Lake Ming, up by Bakersfield, between Isabella and Bakersfield, where it went that speed. I was at the river, I was going about 85, 88, something in there. You know, the difference between 85 and 100 is immense. A lot of dollars.
Absolutely.
True story. True.
Actually, my son got it going faster than I did. But sure had a lot of fun with it. I used to have I'd have to revise the amount now much higher. But I used to have a set thing 40 years ago when I was running it. I did most of this in the 70s. Anyway, when somebody'd come up and do an ooh or ah over my boat, I'd tell them they could buy it for what I had into it, $77,000.
You're gonna suck cock, OG. You're gonna suck.
I remember back then the pumps had to be really loose, and it was all how who could set up those pumps. There's very few people who were building those pumps back then.
Marine cocksucker.
Yeah, the pumps were manufactured by Berkeley, a company named Berkeley. Eventually others came into it, but Berkeley Pump was the prima donna.
That's right, OG. It's a marine cocksucking queen. You're a closet queen, and you know it, OG. The old Burke jet. Come on, OG, fess up to it. You suck cock. You suck cock.
A lot of people don't understand that a jet boat is truly a jet. It uses jet action. It isn't the water coming out of the back of the jet hitting the water on the lake or whatever it is. That isn't how it works. It makes thrust by putting pressure on the reduced size of the nozzle. It works exactly like a jet that goes through space.
It compresses it, you're right.
True story.
Got news for you. Jets don't work in space.
True story.
Yeah, I think they have trouble getting water to them, don't they? But they work on the same principle.
We all know what you are, OG. You're a nasty little cocksucker. That's what you are. You're a dirty